Welcome to the seventh episode of MSME Masterclass. Today, in our latest episode, we have the privilege from hearing from our veteran leaders here, Mr. Dharmen Sanghvi, CEO of Arya Pallet Manufacturing. Join us today as Mr. Dharmen will be sharing his valuable insights on about his journey as a manufacturer and how has he scaled up his business. Let's embark on this journey of knowledge and inspiration with Mr. Dharmen ji in MSME Masterclass episode 7. Sir, the stage is yours, sir. How are you?
I'm good, and it's an honor to be with you, Nikhil, and with all my friends in MSME Masterclass.
It's an honor. It's my honor, sir. It's my pleasure. So to begin out, sir, could you talk a little about yourself and Arya Pallet Manufacturing, like your journey of this company?
Surely. I am Dharmen Sanghvi. I am CEO of Arya Pallet Manufacturers. Our firm is based in Taloja MIDC in Maharashtra, and we deal in manufacture of steel pallets for concrete block industry. Perhaps we are the largest producer of this particular product in India, and our sales are pan-India. And we are market leaders in our product, which is a niche market, a small market, but still we are market leader in our product.
That's great, sir. So you're the market leader in the pallet industry. Could you talk a little about, for me, who has just basic understanding of the pallet manufacturing industry? Could you maybe speak a little about it?
Yes, sir. The pallets that we produce are a very specific type. They are used for manufacture of concrete blocks, bricks, and paver blocks. And these pallets are used as like a production pallet. With every machinery sold or expansion, you need these pallets for manufacture, and it is required in sizable quantity. Earlier, this product used to be imported from Korea and other countries. So we have introduced this product in India, and now I can surely say that we are a very big import substitute, and we have almost edged out the import material from India. We are now serving very well to all the machines that produce or require this kind of pallets.
That's excellent, sir. So, as being the biggest importer in the pallet industry, sir, how do you feel, just being part of this industry for several years?
We are the biggest producer, not the importer of the pallets. The journey has been very nice, and we have got a lot of encouragement from our customer base. Over a period of time, we have increased our customer base to almost 200 plus customers throughout India. And with God's grace, we are having repeat orders from all these customers, and we are doing quite okay.
That's great. That's good news, sir. So, sir, could you talk about how did you just get started into Arya Pallets? Like how you started into the business?
Surely. It's a long journey. Basically, I started my internship with steel market in Masjid Bandar while I was in while I was in college. I did my internship in Masjid Bandar. I worked under someone for 2 to 3 years for basic training in steel industry. My father also was in this industry, and my father's business started in 1950s. We had a firm called D. Madhukant and Company that my father owned, and he used to trade in steel wires and wire rods. So when I joined steel market, I did not join his type of work. I started something new. I wanted always to do sheets and metals, which have got a larger usage. So sheets and plates I started dealing, and I started my brokerage and trading firm in I think 94. And from then on till 2010, I was into trading of various steel and metal products. And we had a large range of customers, right from construction industry, manufacturing industry, machine making industry, to sugar industry, to distilleries. We used to supply steel of various types. All types of steel we used to supply. Even SS we used to supply them. And then we started this. We got an opportunity in manufacture. My passion was always to manufacture. Trading has little value addition, and it is quite transparent these days. So I always wanted to get into manufacturing of products, which adds more value, and you can the form of the material is changed, so you can add profits to it also. So I got an opportunity in 2010 to manufacture this kind of pallets, which were actually imported from Korea. So one of my customers used to buy steel from me, asked whether we can make this product in India. with trial and error, somehow I managed to produce a good enough quality that was good enough against the imported material. And we started very small, by one customer, two customer. Then on, our reputation got us more customer, and the business started growing slowly and organically. Initially, we did not have continuous supply of continuous demand of this material. So we did and the capital base was also low. So we used to outsource most of our work to somebody else, and renting and storage of it, and supply whenever there was a demand. Eventually, as my business started growing, and there was a continuous demand of the product, I thought that everything has to be brought under one roof, and we need to get our own machinery and produce all in-house, because the logistical expenses and the transport expenses of and the managing the inventory, pilferage, everything was becoming day by day difficulty with the growth in business. So the business was having a healthy 40-50% growth per year. So eventually in 2005, we started our own manufacturing unit. And 2010, we almost stopped outsourcing from everybody, and we started manufacturing in-house the production.
That's an excellent journey, sir. Since with over 2 decades of in the steel industry that you have been you've been scaling up this business. Other than like how you just mentioned that you had initial supply chain issues, what would you say maybe would have during this whole process, from starting up to scaling your business, would have been your key challenges that you have faced? What have probably held you back?
Yeah, there were many challenges, not one, many. Started business with a very low capital base, so investment was low, and we had to buy goods in credit. And one policy I always had was never sell in credit to anybody, because that sucks up your entire working capital into them. So my plus point was that my business decision was that I will always sell at against payment, and that helped me a lot. I was able to, with my low capital base, I was able to invest in raw material, have a range of products, so my sale became easier. And then outsourcing and all the logistical expenses were also a challenge, which used to wipe out my profit. Due to the small size of business at that point of time, I could not hire the best people available in the market, because the staffing was difficult, because they expected more pay, and with my small scale of business, I could not pay them as such high salaries. So I had to do lot of manage many things myself too, like purchase, sales, everything. We could not have every person for each department, like a purchase manager or a sale manager or an accounts department head, and everything we could not have. It was a small firm, very micro firm. From that, we have reached to we have scaled our production. So eventually we started staffing more people and getting the work done. But it was a challenging work to slowly grow with all the challenges. And then the technology and the making process also we simplified. We tried to get the best machines available in the market, CNC machines. That helped us out a lot. And the scale of production also increased day by day, and we were able to produce more.
That's excellent, sir. So as you're saying that as challenges grew up and all, and introduction of new machinery helped you, increase your production capacity to a higher limit. Was there any other technical advances or innovations that you have done for your company, which believe that these were really crucial and helped you grow?
So the production process of this particular product was very different from what I produced. It was a very cumbersome process, and used to be a very highly capital intensive product. So what I got is, I got some good CNC machines for cutting, and then the further processes, I have hired skilled people who have actually cut a lot of my costly machines that I further required, and I am able to have the same quality what the Koreans or the other competitors are producing at my facility at a much lower cost. And the capital goods, these are all capital goods, so their demand is very seasonal sometimes. And we have always managed to the finances very well, and have a good reserve amount to face that problem of seasonal kind of business. In monsoon, there is the construction activities goes down, so this capital investment decreases in the monsoon season of say June, July, and although this month August, up to August, there is not much demand of our product. As the rain stop, the demand increases. So we always understood that we cannot stop production in these 3 months. We have to have adequate finance to to store material and manufacture and keep. So whenever the season starts again, we can push those stock and inventory that is there with us, and get the sales done. This is how we did it. The growth was actually very slow and step by step. We never hurried in our growth.
I understand, sir. With such effects on seasonality, I understand that you have taken great measures to make sure that your production and your inventory is not harmed, and eventually you will be able to pump out when the demand increases. This has been, that's a very great strategy, sir. So eventually, also as being part of a manufacturer and as a businessman, sir, on the same lines of being, as you have followed many best practices as a manufacturer, would you, as to other manufacturers, what would you believe, like the financial, logistics, supply chain, or any other business aspect, what would you say the best practices a manufacturer should follow that you would like to suggest to the other manufacturers who are in the audience?
Yes, sir. I can tell a few things that my journey has taught me. First of all, always have adequate finances with you, because business brings sometimes like some payment doesn't come up, and you have to have you cannot stop purchasing your raw material. Then keeping the the debt ratio at low levels. So debt should be always low, so that your interest cost doesn't shoot up too much and takes away all your profit. Then the product that we make, always there is a scope of improvement. I have always understood that the improvement process should be constant, and over a period of time, we have every year there has been always some kind of improvement in our product quality. So we are very much in touch with our customers and always take their insights into the product and say how has their experience been with our product, and we try to improve our product step by step. Now our product, the customers are satisfied, and that's why we have repeat orders from those same customers. And if at all there has been some minor some quality issues, some rejections, we never shy away from and don't take them back or something like that. We always accept our material. We, at all the cost, we take our material back and replace them with good material. So and one more important aspect is managing this the entire process, like they should not take too much time to produce this product, otherwise the cost escalates. So that has always been to manufacture the product in an adequate time frame, not to delay the production. This has been always that, and now the customer should not feel that we are delivering them late or whenever. See, when they require the material, they require the material. Just because of our product, sometimes the entire beginning of the production stops. So it is timely delivery is also very important factor.
Yes. As you said, you've been able to cater to customers in such best practices. I see that the dedication and care that you think and look at the foresight for your business, sir. So as a businessman, sir, is like, someone being the CEO of a company who has so much to shoulder on, is there a mantra that you follow? Yeah, some kind of, motto that you truly believe in?
See, my motto is simple. You have to work hard. You have to be extremely honest to both, to your suppliers as well as to your customers. If you are not honest, your people will have the grapevine, and they will come to know one fine day that what you are doing wrong. So once you will be successful, twice you cannot be successful for good. So if you want to run a company and grow for a long period of time, it is very important that you always give them a good product and don't cheat with them. Whatever you have promised them, you have to deliver. If you don't do that, then over a period of time, one customer tells the other and the other tells the next one, so you finally have to bear the losses. So it's always good to be honest to your customer. And third, you have to your purchase and sales has to be on the right price. You can sometimes you have to give away some orders because they are trying to bargain too much. Let them have some other competitors product at a lower price and let them be cheated, and then they will come back to you. They will come back with vengeance, so they will always buy from you next time. This is what I have always seen. Means sometimes somebody is pushing you too much, you don't get, you stop, you said okay fine, you buy from somebody else, then you come back to me, you accept them. So that is how we do business.
That's great, sir. To focus on honesty and loyalty to make sure that your business like is on the peak of a customer's mind is a really great way to look at how you want to grow as a business and how honestly you want to show the quality and love that you're putting to manufacture in the manufacturing process here. This is great, sir. Sir, as we are moving and talking about your business, I believe that a lot of audience have questions for you. So people also, so I would like to ask some questions which have been asked beforehand. If you're ready, okay with it, sir, right now?
I'm good. Yeah.
Sure. And whoever is in the audience right now, if they have any questions along while we are answering the Q&A, you could also ask them in the Q&A section in the chat here. So that would be, that way we could also have a discussion over that. So thank you. So let's just give me a second. Let's cover this. Yeah, okay. So we have a question, two questions actually. What are your suggestions to people who have new ideas but lack the finances to start their business? Is it better to start out in a partnership venture or alone?
My answer to the people who have lack of funds, they should start it small. Doesn't matter how small business you do. Over a period of time, you will grow for certain. If your product is good, if your strategy is right, over a period of time, you will grow. And second question that you asked
is it better to start out as a partnership venture or alone?
I have no issues. I have been into a partnership, and I have also did my business alone. There is no problem in partnership if your knowledge is diversified and there is sharing of work. Means some expertise is shared by both of you, different kind of expertise that your partner has, you have. Then it is always better to have a partner because you can grow faster, because one person cannot have all the skills in the world. So if you have a partner, it really helps sometimes.
Exactly. That's great to know, sir. So actually, moving on to the next question. The next question is asked by Mr. Jagadish from Helix Infrastructure Consultants. How did you recover from a bad COVID hit, or how was your experience with COVID-19 in the manufacturing?
COVID time was really an interesting period for us, sir. We were badly shaken in COVID times because what we produce is a capital goods. You understand? These capital goods are only required when there is an expansion or there is a new unit coming up. So the effect to us was into 5 or into 10 times. There was hardly any sales because people who buy our product could not run 100% capacities. So they all stopped their expansion and they said that we don't require further material, and some people even cancelled the orders. So and then the labor shortage was also there at the same time. But we always understood that manufacturing has a fixed expenses and you have to somehow recover from these conditions, and we fought back. So when we started, we understood that we cannot continue with the same for the same thing that we produce for this period of time. So we started doing job work for others for using our CNC plasma cutting machines and the machinery that we had, straightening machines and all. We started doing outsourcing. We started taking outsourcing works of others. In the meantime, what happened was there was a huge oxygen shortage, if you remember.
Yes.
So in that period, the steel industry around us, we have got a big steel industry in Taloja and Kalamboli. So in that period, those units could not cut their steel without oxygen, and our plant, our CNC machines could cut without oxygen. So we started getting orders from others. So that was a new kind of venture that we took up during the COVID. We did not make money, I'm sure, but we somehow recovered our expenses and survived in that period of time. The sales were less than 50% of what we usually sell, and but somehow with this hard going out hard and doing it in a different way helped us. And there was a huge employee shortage at that time, and most of my workers went away to their native villages, and they were too scared to work and they did not want to come back. So the minimum skeletal staff that we had, we somehow made them understand that we will give you everything. We will give you food, we'll buy groceries for you, we'll give you food, we'll give you all the facilities. In case you get ill, we'll give you medical facilities. We promised them everything, and we were able to manage the minimum skeletal staff and survive this condition. So the loss of employees also was an issue, because many of our employees had gone. I'm repeating this again. The employees went over to their native villages. They were scared to stay in Bombay. Their thought process was, even if we have to die, we will die with our family. That was that kind of answers we got at that point in time. So still we convinced them that we will do everything for you at Taloja. We gave them place to stay. We gave them food, groceries, everything, and we retained them. And those loyal customers, made us survive through the bad times.
That's excellent, sir. From making major innovation changes to like having CNC machines without requirement of oxygen, to making sure that your employees, that you take care of your employees more than just as much as how normally corporate companies take care of employees. I see that during COVID time, while you were facing difficulties, you made sure people around you don't face difficulties. So that's kind of inspirational, to be honest. So, okay, I think we got a couple of questions from Aditya and Ms. Arya. I think Aditya has a question. What are the difference in margins between traded and manufactured products? If it is a low margin product, is it better to trade than manufacture?
I would agree with Aditya. The manufacturing profit should not be less than 10%. That's even if there is a less value addition, it should not be less than 10%. But because there are a lot of eventualities in manufacturing, there can be sudden losses, there can be sudden breakage of machinery, and costs are too high to manage the CNC machines and all. At the same time, trading should, if there is a good margin in trading is always easier, because there are less issues. Here the factors of production are more in manufacturing industries. Trading business, there are less factors of production, it's easier. But then today's time, the trading business has become so transparent, and at a press of a button, I can know that product, who sells that product, at what price he sells. I can have 10 quotations in an hour's time. That digital marketing, and the products have become very transparent. Everybody is able to find out the price. Manufacturing, there is a value addition, everybody cannot do it, so there are still margins. So it is your choice whether you want to have a easy process of trading. Manufacturing is always going to be difficult, but it will give you more margins.
So while you were speaking about it, as we were discussing about the benefits of trading and manufacturing, you talked about machinery. So there's one question about machinery, where is it better to own machines and a factory, or rent them for an extended period of time?
See, some machineries can be rented, but there are issues regarding that. That every manufacturer has a different kind of a machinery. Means there are some machineries that can be transported from one place to other. Some has to be put with a foundation, and inside you cannot have a foundation kind of machinery on a rental basis. So I would, if you want to do business for a very long period of time, it really makes sense to take the depreciation that you get on purchase of machinery, and the finance and the subsidy that you get on the machinery. Take all those advantages, and I would suggest that you should own the machinery over a period of time. If there are financial issues and you are not able to do that, or not procure a bank's loan, then you can take rent for some period of time. But in long run, like in 10-year basis or 15-year basis, you have to buy those machineries. It really makes sense.
Yes, sir. Owning it makes it easier and responsible, because if you even rent it out, there might be more issues, and then you will have to deal with them, which might cost you more.
It is obviously costlier to rent, because the person who has owned that machinery will always try to make money out of it. And long range, you cannot get depreciation from it, and other issues are also there.
That's great, sir. So I think there are more questions from Aditi also. This one question: How do you load costs in metal fabrication business, and how long do you go in price before regretting and counter offer from the client?
Okay. If I'm not wrong, he's talking about the fluctuations in steel prices, and how it affects the sales of our product. See, you know what, my experience since last 30 years in steel industry is what fluctuation in steel prices used to be there for a year. Now we get it in a month sometimes. Post COVID, post the second year of COVID, the steel prices almost doubled out. So we generally write in our quotations that the price is validity for always 7 days. But generally we try to make because every time we give a quotation to a customer, the customer does not expect or want an escalation. Whenever you escalate the price, he's not happy about it. When you give a quotation to a customer, the customers want some discount on it, not an escalation. So when steel prices grow and it's for a small period of time, sometimes we bear that little less profit and give it at the same price. But if the fluctuations are huge, you are helpless. But one thing I will say, my logic, my motto or my logic or my my this in life is to, if you have taken an order with an advance, never ever say regret. You have to complete that order, whether you are making 10% loss, 20% loss or 30% loss. I give that product at what I have promised. I never say that I will not be able to produce because the steel prices have gone up. This has been always my, I always believe in that truthfulness.
I understand. That's excellent, sir. I think that should also be able to answer Aditya's question and maybe help him make a smarter decision rather than feeling regret over a pricing decision. So okay, so then there's a question about the pricing of steel. Since we have come to this point about the variable pricing of steel, is how variable is the cost of price of materials? How does predicting of fluctuating price of steel work?
See, today's time, the world is connected. Means earlier, the steel prices used to be a localized factor. Now, something happens in US or something happens in Turkey or the Ukraine war with Russia might change the steel prices. So, and the currency fluctuation also changes the steel prices a lot. In these conditions, you have to be highly aware of what's going on in the market. You have to keep in touch with multiple dealers and and JSW1, the sales people at JSW1, and understand what's going to happen next month, the month after it, or 3 months down the line. And while taking orders, you have to always be in your mind that you have to purchase the steel at the price that you have promised your customer. So you have to be extremely careful and have a reserve with you, that in case you feel that the steel prices are going to go up, then you can purchase in bulk and keep, as we did post-COVID. When the post-COVID prices were going up very fast, we had the highest amount of inventory of steel. That helped us negotiate through that bad time. Imagine 35 rupees per kg was HR coil prices at that time. It went up to, if I'm not wrong, to 68 rupees per kg. And this I'm not talking about 2 years or 3 years. This happened in 6 to 8 months.
Prices are fluctuating.
So if you have got a order in hand and you price your margin is 10 or 20% or something like that, and suddenly the steel prices grows 10% per week, now how are you going to manage that? So you have to have some reserves so that you can keep that inventory and keep it with you. So just understanding the market doesn't help. Then you have to have the financial capacity to hold the inventory for that material.
Exactly, sir.
Because nobody is going to give you long credit,
Understand, sir. Then we as JSW1 truly understand too, sir, that the requirement of transparent pricing and also to have a clearer picture of what's the price in the market, so that because steel is a commodity and prices can fluctuate rapidly in that kind of seasons. So we do understand, and we hope that this kind of pricing and all do not affect someone's order in business. Okay, there's one question about, maybe how do you handle clients and businesses where, how do you manage when your customers do not maybe speak your same language? Maybe when you're trying to do business all across India, how do you handle the communication issues if they, maybe they do not speak a common language? If let's say situation like that arrive. Have you ever had to experience something like that?
So it's an interesting situation. We had a lot of customers in Kerala and Tamil Nadu who could absolutely not speak a word in either English or Hindi. So I had to call my friends to talk to them. And but business has its own language. A businessman can always understand other businessman. So somehow we managed to deal in spite of that. and they could not understand English, but I had to call my friends who were fluent in Malayalam and Tamil to speak to them. So this is how we handle those customers,
Yeah, eventually we always find a way around making sure,
Yeah,
we
businessman
all
always
speak the
finds a
same
way.
language.
Yeah, a businessman always finds his way out.
Exactly. Okay. Okay. This one question about how do you deal with competition in this niche industry? What is your market strategy to acquire new customers? Oh yeah, this probably is a question which probably most MSMEs would have.
See, being into a niche market, I don't have to actually market my product very too much. I don't go digital, but to the other products, I always say that digital marketing is a good platform. It has a very low cost, and it really works. The pallets that I use are used by the machines. In those machine people get me the customers. Where they have sold their machines, they get me the customer from there. And so I don't have to market much as such. I have to only develop that goodwill and a pricing. That pricing that I give is so good that they will not buy from anybody else. And the quality that I give, they are sure that if they try to, some people really do that because then there is a logistical expense of sending goods from here to Kashmir or from here to Assam, which is around 8 rupees per kg. So they might find steel cheaper, but I always tell them that the quality you will not find that, your price you will find. And my that buzzword to them is that if you buy little expensive, you will cry once, but if you buy cheap, you will cry 100 times. So you select what you want to do, whether you want to cry once or you want to cry for 100 times. So that is how I explain my customer.
I understand. So I think that answers the question for the person. Aditya has one more question. I guess Aditya is like very interested to know about what technology you could use in business. Like how important is technology in your business? For example, when do you know it's the right time to invest in a good ERP system?
I would say that technology is always important in any any production process, but we are still far away from ERP because we are a SME, small unit, and our business is not so large enough for ERP as on now. But I always am a person who believes that one has to accept new accounting practices and new ERP or whatever that comes up in market technology wise. Whatever I feel that in future would be helpful to me for my growth and my development, I would do that. But as on now, I'm more focusing on increasing the machines than I'm increasing getting an ERP solution.
I understand, sir. So you're more focused and right now, maybe focused on improving and increasing your production capabilities.
Because I'm not still so big that I will need the ERP process and everything.
I understand, sir. I think that's a lot of the questions we have seen throughout. There may be more, but I think that's a lot of questions that we have answered, sir. I believe, our audience are also pretty kind of satisfied. That's from my side, sir, to understand how you have grown your business from scaling up to this far, sir. You have my respect, sir, because to be able to invest and show so much passion in this kind, in a niche industry, and to be able to grow with so much strategy, innovation, and idea to maintain, also making sure that your ideology, to be honest, stays the same throughout all these years, sir. You have my utmost respect, sir. I would like to maybe conclude the session, sir, by saying for first, thank you for making this session insightful and enriching for our audience, and I'm thanking you, my audience, also for everybody to participating. I really hope that this session has been insightful, and thanks to our remarkable speaker here who helped us empower everybody with their entrepreneurial knowledge. I wish everybody that this session has been insightful and that you could use what you learned from Mr. Dharmen ji to implement in your business and maybe helps you grow ahead in the future. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.